I have a confession. I wrote a script for this video about the dark or grim side of a cottage rebuild, just like the many chores we all have in daily life, just building up. Just like me here, pulling piles of rubble and dust and bird poo from the cottage loft to clean up after this rubble had been left here for decades, as the cottage was left to rack and ruin. You can just completely see the dust completely saturating the air. You can see me here struggling, shoveling more and more dirt from the floor because it had been decades that the cottage was left to rack and ruin. And here we are trying to save it and give it a new lease of life. But to be honest, it's not all glamorous, is it? So I wanted to show this other side of a cottage rebuild, another side of cottagecore, like the reality of it, which can be quite dirty. To be honest, I spent like so many weekends just cleaning. It's not glamorous at all, spending the whole weekends cleaning, but this isn't to complain, this is just to share with you the reality. My confession was that I wrote a script for this video about the dark or grim side of a cottage rebuild, or even daily life, like the many chores we all have. But to be honest, I lost that script, and to be honest, I'm happy about that. For losing it is a symbol of what I really want to talk about removing the old, specifically what is not serving us, and make room for the new. So yes, this isn't just a dark video about grime. In fact, later you'll see the end point of this cottage cleanup. You'll see the hidden beauty of this loft. Okay. Hey.
For the future fireplace,
Yes.
probably.
Filled with things.
Let's make some hydration tablets.
I think I've done quite a lot.
Yes, Clary, it's a really good job. We got at least 2/3 cleaned up, and that side I can hoover up.
Yeah. I wanted to share the dark side, but the dark is so much outweighed by the light that I can't make this like a video that's just like, oh, it's all terrible. There have been some really terrible times, particularly over winter when waiting for things to go ahead, or just not having the energy and there's just loads of things to do, especially when it's cold and raining. But now that it's warming up and the building warrant is through and things are happening, it's incredibly encouraging, and we just know deep inside us that we know it's worth it. But even with the hard times, when we couldn't find builders, when there were delays, when there were problems with the council, when there were like costs that there shouldn't have been because people made mistakes. It's easy to forget all that when you start to see the fruits of the labour. You start to see change, because this cottage really was just crumbling, completely crumbling. If you see the original photos, it was crumbling into the earth. There was no foundation. Now it's stronger than ever. And still, we've only just begun. And yeah, one day I won't have to clean all the time. Like, I will have to clean, but it might not be so extreme, like rubble and bird poo and stuff inside the cottage. And it's just going to get better and better. It's going to be the design, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be a lot more fun. It really has been working from the ground up here, literally. I hope you'll join us for this journey after this long hiatus, and I am sorry for taking so long with the updates. As I said, it has been a really hard time at times. The planning process has maybe been the hardest. People in TV shows and stuff, like, they kind of portray on TV shows that the hardest times are like during the building work, but for us it was during the planning. But maybe I'm saying that too early, because maybe bad things will happen in building work, but to be honest, I don't think we really care now, because we're just happy to see things happening so much that it seems inconsequential. Waiting was always the hardest, but that's not good drama for TV, so, or YouTube, so I'm sorry for not creating enough content. There really was a lot to share, like finding water when we didn't know when the water was and things, but the motivation was hard sometimes as well, because it has been hard. So yeah, after cleaning up this loft, what's next? I'm going to do some drawings, and I'm going to create an immersive kind of old world feel in here. I've got ideas already. I think we live in a capitalist society encouraging us to buy whenever we can from shops, and things can just accumulate so much. And we've been guilty of that in our flat that we've been renting during the build, and I just don't want that stuff to build up and fill this beautiful space we're designing. And it is a limited space, so it's really about maximising that space as much as we can. Greg is going to go to a IKEA in Sweden for inspiration, and that'll be a different video. But yeah, space-saving solutions, and maybe a little bit of a minimalist mindset, because I'm not one for extreme minimalism, but I am going to have to get a handle on maybe prioritising things, keeping only things that bring me a lot of joy. I will seek to find balance again. That is the kind of philosophy I will think of when I think of what furniture as well to move into the space. And the ideas at the cottage will be old style, obviously, cottage core. I'm gonna look at some period stuff from the late 1800s. I spent the whole weekend, last weekend, cleaning the cottage loft. And yeah, also because I have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue and POTS, I was kind of destroyed in my body for several days, and I couldn't clean the flat. Especially as we find ourselves so busy, we spend all our spare time really at the plot every weekend, cleaning up, sorting out things here, and sometimes the flat gets a bit neglected. I enjoy the physical movement, I enjoy exercising, and also having a break from the screen. So all week I'll be on a screen writing for my day job, and I enjoy not having screens, not sitting at a desk. There's something about being here, even though it can be hard work physically, and when it's cold it can be very draining psychologically as well. But there's something very grounding about all this. But you know, I think it really motivates to be more intentional about the space and think about what we all need in it. I will do some drawing, some interior design as part of this project. I already have an idea for the wallpaper, and further into this video you'll see just what it looks like when the insulation went up, as well as the plasterboard and some beautiful pine wood, and it really does transform the space. But I do think the cottage and the loft is beautiful in its simplicity. Well, once all the poo, bird poo and cobwebs and dust and grime are cleared away, that is. It will be beautiful then. We actually discovered under the very dusty floor the most amazing floorboards. They just look so beautiful, and you'll see that soon as well. So this will get more uplifting, I promise. This transformed the space. The white veiled floor became a beauty, deep, gorgeous brown. It's helped us to decide that we must keep the original floor exposed. So out with the old isn't the message here. It is about keeping what is valuable, or what is valued. The gold hidden under the ashen layers. Just like when you grow older and you realize what really matters and what does not. What to leave behind and what to bring with you. That is what we'll think about when we move into this space. After clearing out the crumbling walls, the cobwebs. Yeah, we're both clearing out our stuff. Us and the cottage. We're in this together.
But the cottage is only one part of the story.
Follow us to find out how the Scandi extension goes.